So as I mentioned earlier that this webinar is especially related to the finance career paths. A lot of things are changing within finance function and in the business environment. So I try to make some updates, and I would like to update you with what is happening in the market as far as the finance careers are concerned, finance function is concerned, and we will give you some advice towards the end of this webinar. So who this webinar is for? So mainly for finance professionals, but especially the people who are struggling in their career. So feeling uncertain and scared about their career, looking for better opportunities, have been laid off or fear they will be laid off, in a never-ending job search, unhappy or overperforming their employers, and looking for better opportunities. And also for those who are happily employed and not looking for any change, they would also find it very useful. Now, if you look at these situations, an average professional over their career lifetime spends closely 5 years in this situation. 5 years looking for jobs, 5 years altogether, total over lifetime. 5 years in transition, 5 years on the job, but not really happy, trying to find another job. 5 years, that's a lot of time. So this time is really not much productive from a professional or organization point of view, but that's the reality we are facing into. And what I will try to cover in today's webinar is, first of all, an update on the future of finance. Then I would explain you career paths available to finance professionals, and then how to choose skills for future. So there is a lot of talk about future skills. So there is no shortage of talent or skills or trainings available. The main challenge, I think, is that how to choose what you need to learn, which would be useful for you in future. And then very importantly, I would like to cover some contents related to the what should be your online ongoing personal marketing strategy, because that is become very essential in today's time. And how to rebrand yourself and reposition yourself to access the hidden job market. So one of the thing which has come very alarmingly, that there are enough jobs in the market, but most of the jobs are not advertised and they are hidden jobs, as they call it. And that becomes a challenge for many professionals because they cannot reach those jobs. So I'll explain you in today's webinar how you can access those hidden job market, which is basically a big chunk of the job market available right now, and how to play actively in blue ocean of job markets. So I'll explain you what do I mean by blue ocean and red ocean of job markets. I know many of you who are in this situation, that you are already burning hours and hours on your job search with no results. You have no clue how to leverage networking. So there is a lot of talk about networking, but really no results are coming up. You are tired of dealing with gatekeepers, not really able to reach to the decision makers or hiring managers. Financial pressures are mounting for you and your family, and you are now willing to look at low level opportunities, but even not making much success over there. And you are getting afraid of being out of game for too long. So you are getting out of touch and you are losing confidence that would you ever be able to get back on track or not. And you're thinking probably getting doubtful about yourself and your self-confidence. So the problem is not you actually. The problem is that you have been playing the game wrongly of job search. Most job search advice which is available in the market is really BS stuff. To win in this game, you must play a different game. I'll explain you what that game is. So are you ready to leave the old game and play the new game? And once you are ready to play the new games, you will gain control over your career. Most important thing is that in this critical time, if you are in transition or job search, avoid wrong people, talk to the right people. Otherwise, you would be wasting your time. And most importantly, you really require a mindset shift, because that would drive the results for you in the external environment. So what I will try to teach you today in the next 90 minutes, I will explain you how to create clarity in your life by identifying your values and setting priorities. So it starts with your mindset. Mindset really drives your action or successes or failures in life. So first, let's work on that part. Then rebrand and reposition yourself as an expert and not as a job seeker. So you must be realizing that, look, whenever people realize that you're a job seeker, people run away from you. And that has to change. And use the power of LinkedIn. LinkedIn is very powerful. It's still not, majority of the people are not using it right. So I'll explain you how to use LinkedIn to reach the hidden job market. And learn the art of asking questions to demonstrate your expertise. And use a network of mentors, coaches, advisors to avoid career mistakes and speed up your journey towards your career goals. So this is my objective during this short time to help you with this. Let's start with an update on the future of finance. So I'll show you a few slides which I have taken from the Big Four or some of the top strategy consulting firms like Accenture. So this slide you are looking at your screen is basically Boston Consulting Group. And what they are explaining here in this slide, basically showing the future position of finance, future role of finance. And they are talking about custodian of performance, which means that they have to take a central role in the performance management, which leads to value creation. So there seems to be an agreement now among the thought leaders in the market about the role of finance in future, that finance has to play a role of strategic partner or value creator or custodian of performance. Now, this has been being talked for a long time, but this time it's quite different. As you know, that we have been confronting the dilemma that whether finance would take the lead in analytics or the data science would take the lead in analytics. It is becoming clear that finance has to take the broader lead on this analytics, and data science would really have to work with them. So I'll explain you what is happening on that part. But this is from Boston Consulting Group showing clearly the role of finance in future. This is from Accenture, another slide. And what you don't need to go into the details, but just to broadly explain it, they are showing the similar role for finance in terms of the value optimization. So they are suggesting something for finance to create a center of value optimization, which means, again, this is a central role for finance to play in the organization about value creation or a strategy. Next slide is also from Accenture. Here they are talking about creating a finance command center to meet the challenges organizations may face time to time. And this third slide is basically from KPMG. So you can see KPMG, Accenture, Boston Consulting Group, other Big Four, they are talking now more or less the same thing, same role for finance for future, which is of a strategic partner or value creator or custodian of performance. Again, you don't need to go into the detail. These are just the confirmation and authentication of the point of view from these market leaders about the role of finance in future. And I will explain you what consequences you have as an individual professional with this position from these big giants. So in this slide, let's look a little closely here. This is also from KPMG. This shows the value creation within an organization. And you can see that there are two scales, one from scorekeeping to becoming co-pilot at the bottom, maturity level, horizontal. And on the vertical, they are showing value spectrum through creation to preservation, right? Now look at these three areas they have classified in this chart. Starting from the left side, it's the traditional advancements like mitigating risks, maintaining compliance. So finance historically has been tasked with two main functions. One is compliance, other is decision support. Now, finance generally has done a good job on compliance part. They have not done a good job on the decision support part. Businesses have always been complaining about it. So this chart shows, but that was at the low level of maturity, which means their focus was compliance, which is equivalent to preserving the value creation. Then the next step, next progress is optimizing transaction processing and reporting. That's also finance was doing pretty well. Next step, continuing on this chart going upward, is lead enterprise performance. That's new. Not entirely new, but that's a little more challenging. And next to it is enable strategy and innovation. So that is what the message here is, that look, finance has spent a lot of time in the mitigation, maintaining compliance and reporting and transaction processing. Now is the time for them to take over the performance management as well as the value creation and innovation and strategy. So that's a shift in the finance function going forward. And what is relevant for you here to see your role? See your role where you have been working, or where are you working? Are you in the compliance area, audit compliance controls, or are you in the transaction processing, or are you in the performance management, or would you take a role in the strategy and innovation? That's very critical to understand where you are and where you will be. This chart shows the resource utilization of finance in different areas. So 2 pie charts. Starting from the left, you can see it's traditional finance. In traditional finance, they are spending most time on the transactional processing, the big pie, then data and reporting, risk and compliance. You can see the 3 big chunk of the pie is occupied in transactional processing, data and reporting, and compliance. Future of finance on the right-hand side, if you look at this pie chart, it's quite different. So big transaction processing has reduced to very small segment. Most dominant is the business partnering function. Business partnering very small in the traditional, very large in the modern. Similarly, compliance and risk has reduced significantly. And what has increased? Analytics. So going forward, you could easily say that finance would be more focused on business partnering and analytics. Again, the question for you is where you are today and where you see yourself going forward in future. So if you are in transaction processing, if you are in risk and compliance, you need to worry about your future and see that whether you could transition into business partnering or analytics or not. But that's the main shift going to take place within the finance function globally. In this next pair of pie charts, you could also see the trend, similar trend. So what you see on the left side is the present situation where finance is occupied. So these are different tools which are being used in finance. And you can see that on the present situation, Microsoft Excel spreadsheet is dominating. That is what we use most of the time for our analytics. If you look at the future of finance, they say within 5 years, then you will see it's completely different, completely changed. Very little part it remains in the spreadsheet, but most new areas are machine learning and real-time data analytics. So things are going to change very fast. Things are going to change very fast within finance function. The question is that, are you ready to change with the change in finance function, or would you be left behind? Are you ready to get involved in the machine learning or advanced data analytics, or would you be left behind? And this chart is very commonly available, which shows the analytics progress. And here we are talking of 4 types of analytics: descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. Now, finance has historically been involved in descriptive and diagnostic analytics. That was easy. We could have done that on a spreadsheet through a spreadsheet analysis. When it comes to predictive and prescriptive analytics, it's quite different, because the input which is required for predictive and prescriptive analytics comes from the data science. We are talking about big data here. Big data is basically unstructured data. We cannot use as it is. It has to process through data science processes, which are quite technical. So here, finance has become handicapped. Even if they want to get involved in predictive and prescriptive analytics, they cannot do it either doing data analysis themselves or through help from data analysts or data scientists. And that is the turning point for the role of finance. So in this slide, this is just a description of how technical it is. So data science process looks like something like from data collection to data algorithm, test algorithm, collate feedback and ultimate feedback and modeling and whatnot. This is a technical area. This process is basically done by data science team. So in the new scenario, it's becoming very clear. Finance does not need to become data scientists, but finance needs to learn enough to work with data scientists. In the new model, new scenario, data science team would work with finance. So finance need not to become data scientists, but develop enough understanding to work with data science teams. And this chart is quite important to focus here for a couple of minutes. So you can see 4 segments here in this chart. Starting from the left side is the corporate finance. Next is finance business partnering. Next is finance data and technology solutions, and then finance operations. On the vertical axis, you can see all functions report to CFO. Then in the middle, you have the key roles, and the bottom, you have skill sets. So in this 4th segment, the new thing is finance data and technology solutions. So finance was previously historically corporate finance. Finance business partnering also relatively new, but it was quite established already, and finance operations. What is new is finance data and technology solutions. This is the data science team. This is the advanced analytics team, technical team. So again, my question to you is, where do you see yourself? Where you are today? Are you in corporate finance? Are you in finance business partnering? Or are you in finance operations? So finance operations mainly accounting manager, chief accountant, finance managers, and finance business partnering, controllers, business controllers, or corporate finance treasurer, tax people, things like that, right? So the very interesting thing is to notice at the bottom of this chart where they say skill set, enabling skills, and look at the enabling skills for corporate finance. What are those? Organizational influence, storytelling, innovation, vision, business understanding and insight, right? This is for corporate finance. On the finance business partnering, the skill set requires empathy and collaboration, critical problem solving, decision making, workforce shaping. Notice here that these are not technical skills, these are soft skills, these are leadership skills. So there is a lot of emphasis in these 2 roles, 2 functions on leadership skills, not on the technical skills. Let's look at the technical group, the finance data and technology solutions. Here you see in the skill box, it's all technical. Data analytics and insights, data modeling, visualization, cybersecurity, integrated automation. This is purely a technical group. And finally, on the finance operation, you see process acumen, RPA, artificial intelligence, data governance, some technicality. The question is that where will you be in next 3 to 5 years? Finance automation would be almost fully automated. There would not be much human people there. This would be pretty much automated with very minimal human supervision. So that's gone. Finance data and technology solution, unless you really want to have a career in data science, otherwise that's also not for you. That would be for data science and technical people. The choices for you remained in data finance business partnering or corporate finance. And look at the skill set. Are you ready for it? Many people misunderstand. They look at the skill and say, these are simple. I can do that. Well, you are doing it, but requirement is very advanced level of skills in these areas. Talking about leadership. So this slide really explains very well the future of finance, and also explains very well where you could see your future if you want to plan for it. If you are in finance operations, it's a question mark. Accounting manager, chief accountant, AR administrator, AP administrator, payroll managers, where the future is question mark. There would be a lot of demand in the finance business partnering, but everyone would not qualify for it. It requires leadership skills. So keep this slide as a benchmark to really assess where you have been, where you are, and where you can go. Okay, this is interesting, this next slide. This shows 3 weird shapes here. First shape, actually this describes the finance organization as it is. So on the top, you have chief financial officer. In the middle, you have middle management, then manager, then lower level people. So starting from the first shape, which shows a period from 2013 to 2019, which means recent. So it's typical shape, like narrow on the top, wide at the bottom. There are few senior people, and then there are more junior people at the bottom. Now this has been changing. Look at the time frame in the next shape. It says time period as 2020 to 2023, which means again now, near future. This shape is starting to slim down at the bottom, which means that narrow at the top, but it's slimming down at the bottom. What is happening here? A lot of processes are being automated. So junior people are going away. They are not required in the same number as they used to be. It's slimming down. Less people, less FTs. Let's move further. On the right side, the curve is even weird. So what has happened? This shape has also significantly slimmed down from the bottom. So it's pointed at the bottom and pointed at the top. But upper half is widened a little bit. What has happened here? So of course, continuing automation has reduced the need of the junior people in the finance operations. That's very clear. But then finance needs more talented people, more senior people, like finance business partners. CFO would head the finance function, but CFO is not enough on its own. CFO need a team of leaders. And a team of leaders will comprise the senior finance people, finance directors, GMs, VPs at the top level, who will assist CFOs to run the organization. That is how the upper top is widened a little bit. That's the future. That's the future as described between 2024 to 2026. This near future. But again, the question remains, where you see yourself. There is a lot of shuffling going on. A lot of people are going away. Where you are. If you look at the third shape on the right, are you in the middle? Are you at the top? Are you at the bottom? That's really a good question to ask yourself. When we look at the skills requirement for these four segments of finance, we found some soft skills like problem solving, negotiation, storytelling, communication. These are the top 10 skills which I have compiled based on the different reports from World Economic Forum, Big Four, some of the top consulting strategy firms. And these top 10 skills describe a summary what you need to develop to become a future leader in business. And again, all these are soft skills. So at the bottom, you have emotional intelligence, critical thinking, creativity, then enhancing skills, cultural awareness, cognitive flexibility, adaptability, and then you have interactive skills like storytelling, negotiation, collaboration, service orientation. And these skills would help you to develop and sharpen and improve your basic skills, which are personal branding, relationship, and communication. That is the place, that is the battleground actually for the future roles. These look simple, but this is really the criteria for hiring the talent in future. If you are looking for a CFO role, more than any technical knowledge, these skills are important. Before they could check your IFRS knowledge, they want to check your communication and emotional intelligence. So the journey for professionals, specifically finance professionals, is not easy. It's doable if you have the right path, if you have the right guidance. It's doable, but it's not easy. Everybody's talking about learning on upskilling or reskilling or lifelong learning, but how to do it? We need a transformation. Finance people generally need transformation to prepare for the future roles. And this chart shows the steps in transformation. But most people, when they start learning something, they stop somewhere in the middle of awareness and understanding, first and second step. So learning is not about just coming across knowledge one time. Knowledge is commodity. Knowledge is cheap. If you have time, you can sit on the Google and find everything imaginable in Google. The idea is to create awareness, understand, then digest it, then create strategic thinking, then help apply that knowledge and create transformation for you and the organization. Not easy. Now so this is a sort of preview I wanted to provide you about the future of finance as based on the latest updates from the different thought leadership organizations. What is the current environment related to these things? Let's take a quick look there. So unemployment at executive level is on the rise. Overall employment is not that bad. Also, that is also going in a bad direction with the automation. Factory workers and drivers and all those people are going to be affected. But right now, unemployment at the executive level is increasing. 4 generations are working together. 4 generations, the white collar especially. So baby boomers, Generation X, Generation Y, Generation Z. That's quite crowded and quite challenging because each generation has a different way of working and style and culture. It's very clear now that there is more supply of talent than demand. So it's going to be very competitive going forward. You like it or not, it's going to be competitive. To qualify for a job, you need to be better than others. Age discrimination is increasing because there is so much supply available. Employers have choices, hiring managers have choices. And because of that, because of crowdedness of the talent area workplace, people are retiring early. But look, dilemma here is that at the same time, lifespan is increasing. Quality of life is getting better. People would retire at 60, but they would live until 90. What do you do for the next 30 years? So as a result, second career is becoming a common. People retire from their corporate job or formal role, and they want to do something else. That's becoming common. So you need to think of your regular career and then expanded or extended career. And businesses, based on the challenges in front of them, are becoming very desperate to acquire higher talent. Because for them, it's very clear. Any crisis or all crisis can be handled only by having the right level of talent with them. So they're very hungry for it, which means there is a lot of opportunities, but also there is a lot of competition. So career path is really not as straightforward as it used to be. It used to be simple that you start a career and then you make progress. In a due course of time, you reach to the senior level. It's no more. Today, the career path looks like this. It goes up, goes down, goes backward, goes forward. You don't know. There are so many twists and turns you cannot predict, but you need to be prepared for yourself for these situations, these challenges. And this is also very common, that even if you have a little stable, smoother curve, there are setbacks. There are setbacks at different stages of career. You can start very smoothly, but early career, you can have some challenges. In the middle, which is most risky area, the age group plus minus 40, late 30s to early 40s, many people have some setbacks over their career setbacks. I had a major setback in my career at that time. So you need to be prepared with options, with alternatives. How are you going to manage your career? It's no more as smooth as it used to be. This chart shows you a glimpse in the marketplace for the job openings. So this is a survey showing how people are being hired. So this is interesting. If you look at this chart, only 6% jobs are advertised. So 14% jobs are filled through internal candidates. 26% are filled through executive search firms who also don't advertise. Advertisement is only 6.27%. Social media, 4%. Own network, 35%, which means word of mouth, employee referrals, and some other areas. So it's very clear that if you are relying on advertised jobs, there is very little chance that you will have any success. That's the harsh reality today. And that is why the job markets look that crowded. Everybody is chasing jobs, few jobs available. And I call that job market as a red ocean of job market. So question is that how could you reach to these jobs, which are plenty? This is red ocean and blue ocean. Let me explain to you what red ocean is. So red ocean of job market. Now, by the way, this red ocean, blue ocean analogy is from the blue ocean strategy framework. So it very much relates to that. So I related to that. It's easier to understand. So what is red ocean? Red ocean of job market, few advertised jobs. You can imagine 6%, very few. And these few jobs are chased by a huge crowd of job seekers. All job seekers are looking at the job boards, advertised jobs, and they are running behind them. They are chasing those jobs. Most job seekers are even not qualified. Because it's easier when you see a job, just apply it, just click, click, click. Easier, which means that at the receiving end, there is a lot of junk that they are receiving, which discourages them to make any further posting. Many jobs posted are either old or not authentic. So even those jobs which reach to the advertisement level, they are already old enough. 3-4 months, companies are not able to find anyone. They say, okay, let's post it, see if anyone comes up. And job applications for those jobs are handled either by bots, computers, or junior level admins. So even if you send your resume, there is no guarantee that it would land into the hands of some decision makers or recruiters or hiring managers. And with this crowd, like thousands of people running for few jobs, getting an interview or job offer is equivalent to winning a lottery. That's a red ocean, right? And I'm sure many of you find yourself in this red ocean. Now, fortunately, at the same time, there is a blue ocean of job market. And what is happening in the blue ocean? Let's take a glimpse. So in the blue ocean, all hidden job, which means more than 90% of the jobs are hidden. They are all in the blue ocean. And because they are not posted or advertised, not many candidates are able to reach it. Now, how do they get the candidates? Candidates are searched through referrals, word of mouth, or networking. So employer or hiring manager say that, look, I don't need to post. If I just announce it internally, there would be enough employees who would bring referrals, and I will be able to find good candidates. Or I will go to my network. I don't need to really post it because they are scared of thousands of resumes hitting them. So those candidates who are able to reach those jobs, it's a good situation because there is a lot less competition. Compared to the red ocean where everybody is chasing those few jobs, there are a lot of jobs, few candidates. In the blue ocean, it's a paradise for them. And with those less competition, good candidates are also able to make good negotiation, command a high price. And hiring process is much faster, by the way. Where in the red ocean, the time is take about 8 months, 9 months. Hiring process in blue ocean is 2 months because they move very fast. And networking, personal contacts play a vital role in getting interviews. So if you really have a good position as a candidate and you think you are talented enough, you are attractive enough to got a job, then you need to get an interview. And as I said, in the red ocean, getting an interview is a matter of sheer luck or getting a lottery. Now, if you have some networks and you know there is some position or vacancy in a company, and if you know any employee, junior or senior, doesn't matter, any employee, and you ask that employee to make a referral to the hiring manager or HR, there is very high level of probability that you will get an interview call. Because usually the companies want to oblige their employees. If an employee makes a referral, usually, unless they have a very serious reason not to do it, they usually oblige by inviting the candidate for the interview. And if you're a good candidate, that's your opportunity, right? So the big question in front of us is that how do we reach to this blue ocean? Can we play in this blue ocean, right? So let me tell you how to reach. But before that, let me share my personal story with you. And my personal story is very personal, but I'm happy to share with you because it will help you to understand overall scenario which we are dealing with. So briefly born and grew up in Pakistan, as most of you know me. start working full time at the age of 17, even not the legal age to start work. I started working before that and continued my education, higher education actually, on part-time basis until I turned 24 when I completed my MBA. And after MBA, I started my career with the top global Fortune 500 companies, made very fast progress, did very well. 3 promotions in 9 years. That was good enough for me to get a relocation, international relocation to the regional headquarters in Singapore. Not everybody get a chance, but I got a chance. Moved to Singapore in the regional headquarters. Again, did some good work. In 4 years, got another international relocation to lighting headquarters in New Jersey, United States. That is how I reached United States through that company. And at the peak of my career, after serving the company for 16 years, I just got fired. There is no better word to really explain that. I just got fired. It was not a layoff, it was fired. They literally fired me. In 45 minutes, I was on the street from my office. That was the major setback. But my story did not end here. So next 20 weeks, about 4.5 months, were the most torturous time of my life. Literally, I look back and I still can feel the pain. The company I devoted my life, they threw me out like a junk at the peak of my career. But fortunately, I recovered from this torture with 3 job offers in my hand after 20 weeks. 3 job offers. I couldn't believe myself. How did it happen? Because when I moved to USA, I thought that it was because of that company who really relocated me. It's such a competitive market, such a talented market, that if I have to compete on my own, probably I need to do another MBA or CPA in USA. Who would recognize my Pakistani MBA and my Pakistani accountancy qualification? They will laugh on it, right? That's what I thought. When I was pushed into the job market, I had no choice but to make best of my struggle. And I realized those certifications don't matter. Nobody has ever asked me in the last 22 years in USA about my certificates or copy of certificates. My life completely changed, as you can imagine. And I learned my lessons the hard way. What were those lessons? Briefly. Number 1, all jobs are temporary. Only your career is permanent. I was too much focused on my job. I wanted to die in that company while working for that company. I was so loyal, so devoted. That job is gone, but my career survived. I wish I could have focused on my career at that time. Second lesson, it does not matter what you think of yourself. What really matters is what other people think of you. I made some mistakes. I did not care what other people are thinking of me. I was so much egoistic to think about myself. I'm good. That was not enough. And finally, what I learned is love your job, but never love your employer. So what you do, you need to do with full affection and devotion and giving your best. But don't depend on your employer, because in your career, employer would keep changing. As long as you are with an employer, you need to do best, give them best of you, but don't develop love affair with them. So this is my story, and I'm sharing with you because I learned it very hard way, and you could learn from my experience or my lessons and do it better than I did. So few more interesting things, my journey from Pakistan to corporate America. For the last 22 years, as I said, in USA, no employer ever bothered to ask me for my copies of degrees or certificate. Doesn't matter. What they see me when they talk to me, that's enough for them to trust on my talent. Korn Ferry is one of the top search firm in the world. I was hired 2 times by Korn Ferry for the CFO role. And now, since I'm running my own CFO Academy, Harvard Business School has recognized me as a premium educator with access to their teaching resources, like their regular faculty and professors have access. I have the same access in Harvard Library and Harvard resources. That's a sort of recognition of my current teaching assignment. So in 2014, I got tired of the corporate. So briefly, after I got fired, that was in 2003, that was half of my career. Remaining half was a piece of cake, really. I did not work that hard. I kept changing my roles from CFO to CFO to CFO, all the time getting better compensation, much more perks. And life was easy because I was not working that hard. And recruiters were always behind me. So this one bad experience, now I don't call it anymore bad, because that was blessing in disguise. If that did not happen, I would have been doing the same thing or working the same hard way. But that changed my life. And so what I learned, now my passion is really to share with younger professionals what you could do. I wish I would have learned that at my age when I was younger. So key mindset to play in blue ocean. So we are at a very challenging situation for many of you, where you want to make a change or you are pushed into this situation and you're looking to change and things are not working for you. So I explained you how the market is structured right now, right? Blue ocean, red ocean, understand that. And this is universal. This is not one region or one country. This is the common global trend happening everywhere. What you need to do, position yourself as a top candidate. Don't beg people for jobs. Don't chase jobs, because that really diminishes your possible probability of success. Generally speaking, there are exceptions, but generally speaking, people don't want to deal with job seekers. They run away from them. So redefine yourself. You are not a job seeker, you are a professional. And position yourself as a top candidate. Not only position, but become a top candidate. Learn what you need to learn. Make a commitment to be among the top 10% in your profession. But it starts with your mindset. Then remove the head of job seeker and deal with the recruiter and hiring manager at an equal level. Equal level. You're not inferior. If you don't have a job, doesn't mean that you are less than them. They would dictate their things, or they would treat you like a garbage. So respect starts with self-respect. And what you need to do again with your mindset, believe that you are an entrepreneur. Yes, you are an employee technically, but basically you are an entrepreneur in the business of selling your talent. That's what you do. So your biggest resource, precious resource, is your talent. And you are in the business to sell that talent. And believe me, talk to any other expert. There are plenty of jobs. People who think there is no jobs, wrong, completely wrong. There are plenty of jobs. In fact, in these times, there are more jobs because companies are reshuffling their talent pools. They want to let go their weak performers and bring the strong performers. And your next employer is already searching for you. It's only a matter of time if you are in the transition. And there is not much, don't get overwhelmed. You don't need to do much work. 80% of the work is change in your mindset. 80% change in your mindset, 80% if you can shift it, it will take care of all the tactics you have to do externally. So 80% mindset shift, 20% shift in tactics, that's all you need. Easy, right? So executive job market, less than 10% jobs are advertised. And these advertised jobs go into the red ocean. Hidden job markets comprise 90%. This is blue ocean. 1/3 of the openings for executive level, again, are confidential searches. So what is happening in the market, as I said, that businesses are challenged with the crisis. And they have realized the only solution is talent, talented people. Not even technology, because even for the technology, they first need the talent. So they're looking for talent, which means that not only they are hiring new talent, but if there are weak performers in the company, they are letting them go and replacing them with fresh new talent. At least 1/3 of the positions are because of that. those incumbents are sitting on the jobs, not realizing that they are decided to be fired, and new people will come. Now, it's not good. It's unfortunate for those people. But if you think that you are better than them, this is an opportunity for you. And an average search takes around 6 months. Just understand, in the executive level. And 90% of the employee referrals. If you are able to reach to an employee, no matter junior or senior or mid-level, if that employee is willing to refer you to the HR or the hiring manager, you have 90% chance that you would receive a call for interview. So career planning and management in today's time has become inevitable. It doesn't require to be, because this was just once in a lifetime you will deal with your job change or your career issues. But today, whether you are in transition or you are happily employed, career planning and management is an inevitable activity you need to take much more seriously. So all jobs are temporary. If you are employed in a job for a long time, good for you. But there is a time limit, and you need to prepare beforehand. You need to dig your well before you are thirsty. Very important. Because if it is too late, it would not much help no matter what you do. So good times are the best times to prepare for the bad times. Think of jobs as trees and career as forest. Yes, you need to work with the tree, but don't forget the overview of forest, because if you don't know how the forest looks like, you would be working with the wrong tree. Career management should be your top priority in these times. So job is important, job priorities are important, but don't forget that job, whatever job you are having today, is only one component of your overall career. So when the gaps come, it's not a big deal. You need to keep a big view or big focus, broader view of your career. Sometimes those gaps really work betterment. For example, in my career, that 20 weeks period was a turning point for my career. It was tough at that time, but now I call it a blessing in disguise. Now, reality is most people have a vacation plan, but not a career plan. So unfortunate it is, right? So don't be the one. And if you are really depending or driving your career by hope that I hope I will get promotion, I hope I will get a job, I hope I would not be fired, that doesn't work in today's time. You need to create a structured, solid career plan, which may include some contingencies as well. So Peter Drucker, very futuristic man, very wise man, once he said businesses has only two functions: marketing and innovation. Very simple, straightforward, very bold. And I look at that and I said, how true. And I drive from that message that every professional has basically two functions. Every professional like you has just two functions. First of all, you need to understand that you are an entrepreneur running a business of selling your talent. And if you believe so, you have only two functions. One is to keep developing your talent, but that is the commodity you sell and buy, and keep marketing your talent. Marketing is inevitable. Without marketing, even a company like Apple, who has fantastic products, cannot sell their products. How would you sell your talent? And look, marketing is not bad. Many people think that, oh, I'm not that type, I'm not bragging, I'm not selling myself, I just focus on my work. Big mistake. If you won't sell your talent, who else would do that? And that selling is not bad. Because unless you tell the world what you bring to the table, how would they make use of your services or use of your talent? So by telling the world who you are, what you bring to the table, you basically do a favor to them. That's personal marketing is. You serve them, you help them with your talent. You need to tell them. So 5 strategies I'm going to share with you, which will help you to become an active player in blue ocean. So listen carefully now. So the first is, so let me list 5 first. These are the 5. Briefly, I'll explain you each in separate slides. So first, working with your mindset, setting up your inner game, as they call it. Number 2, establishing a solid personal brand. Again, personal brand is part of your personal marketing. Nothing wrong in it. That's a solid strategy to be successful in your career. Then networking and relationship, also part of your personal marketing. And then communication, more than communication, really your conversation skills. And finally, finding a mentor or advisor or coach for you. So let me go through quickly, slide by slide, with few more additional bullet points here. So setting up your inner game, what does it mean for us? It's basically start finding your why. Why are you here? Why are you in this world? What is the purpose of your life? What is the mission of your life? What are your values? What you want to do? What you do not want to do? A big high level, macro level clarity in your mind about your life. Creating a vision of life. Now, if you do it right, it will help you a lot with day-to-day decision making. What you want to do, what you do not want to do, right? So for example, is your job and career aligned with your life purpose and mission? If you have taken your time to carefully identify your life mission and purpose, some jobs may not. And probably you're not happy with your current job because it doesn't align with your life purpose or life mission. So don't worry that there are not many jobs, so you have to continue. First, you need to clarify that whether that job where you are spending your life, you are spending the best part of your life, is aligned with your life purpose and mission or not. And if not, then you need to do something about it. So this is about your life. If you do that exercise correctly, it clarifies big things for you. It's a big part of your life. It's about your life. And you cannot win this game by playing small. So you need to really take it serious, take enough time. Now, these type of exercises you cannot do in one shot or one time. So you need to do something few hours now, then take some time, 1 week, then do again, and maybe in few weeks or couple of months, you are able to develop some clarity about your inner game. And that becomes very powerful. So this is one exercise. I'm just leaving it with you. Answer the question that what is your dream job career? Not now, but take your time. What is your dream job? And in that dream job, what type of people you see around you? What level of financial rewards you expect to receive in that job? What type of work will align with your passion? How will you see the future? How your loved one, how your families would see that job and the results, consequences of that job for them? And what will happen if you fail to achieve your dream? Because if you could visualize that dream job and career, you deserve that. That is why you are dreaming it. You have the talent, you have the ability. And if you cannot achieve that, what will happen? Are you willing to let down your family? Are you willing to let down yourself? Life is one time short. Or you make a commitment that you will do to achieve that dream, whatever it takes to achieve, whatever cost you have to pay. As I said, that there is a lot of power in your mindset. Your determination has strong, unlimited capacity to bring changes in things externally. That was one, internal mindset. Number 2, brand yourself as an expert. Brand, change your brand. Remove the cap of job seeker. Even if you're a job seeker, don't tell the world that you are a job seeker, right? Best, especially the people who write on the top of their LinkedIn profile, looking for a job, next opportunity, open to job. Big mistakes. Believe me, big mistakes. Because they are making their brand look inferior. World doesn't like that. It's not good. I agree. It's brutal, but that's the reality. The best you could do is, for those gaps, just show that I'm doing some private consulting. I have a few people where I do some consulting or some other work casually, but don't show that you are doing nothing and you are looking for a job. Big mistake. So you need to change your brand. And to further amplify that, to further strengthen that branding, become an authority on your domain, whatever it is. Learn. That's the easiest thing. There is so much information available nowadays. It's not a big deal. You need to just spare some time, become an authority in your domain, and declare yourself as an expert. And you do not need any certification for that or any permission for that. It's very easy. You need first determination, self-determination, then find out the resources and develop your expertise in that area and declare that you are an expert. And as I said earlier, try to be among the top 10% in your profession. Keep up-to-date knowledge. So once you declare your authority, yourself as an authority, you need to ensure that you keep yourself updated with the recent information and recent trend to justify your expertise. And remove your label as a job seeker. That's not a good thing to make. You cannot make progress with that. Employers do not look to hire. Employers look to solve their problems. So when you are looking for a job, searching for an opportunity, develop that mindset. How could I solve employer's problem? Not really finding a job, looking for a job, but what problem they have and how could I help them solve it? Because that is what the employers are looking for. They are not looking to hire people. They are looking to get their problem solved. And businesses need a lot of experts to solve their big problems. So it's your job to find out the problems and then offer yourself as an expert to solve it. And build your brand around what you offer, not about your experience. Nobody cares about your experience. People will say that I have 20 years experience, 30 years experience, and I could do this. That is not relevant. What is relevant? What you bring to the table. What are you offering? What are you promising going forward? And whatever you could offer, whatever you could promise, that is where the employers are interested. So try to build a brand towards your future capability rather than past experience. It's all about employer, not about you. Even if you are having some conversation, negotiation, it's not about you. Keep focusing on the employer's problem and their solution. And try to be very clear, what is your top talent, what you are good at, what is your competitive strength compared to other candidates in the market. Ask questions to understand their pain points. So one mistake people do in the job interviews, even if they are asked from the interviewer that, do you have any questions? They say, no, I'm fine, I'm good. Big mistake. You missed the opportunity. Because questions in the interview are not for the sake of getting answers. You ask questions to demonstrate your expertise, demonstrate your skill. And you could pre-plan it. You could identify those questions to be asked in advance. If you ask the right question, that will demonstrate your expertise in that area. That's a big opportunity. Don't miss it next time. And be very clear what problem you can solve. Try to understand any organization you're targeting for your next job, try to understand their pain points. And then very clearly understand the pain points and talk about it with your suggested solutions. That is what really make you attracted to those employers. Understand problem deeply and offer your solution. Even if they don't ask in the conversation, you should try to make some turns offering some solutions. Offer a specific solution, very specific, related to specific companies, specific industries, specific issues. And that is the best pitch you could make for getting a job. Because as I said, employers are not interested to hire you. Employers are interested to get their problem solved. If you could solve that problem, they would happily hire you. And your credibility depends on how vividly you can describe a problem and solution. If you could do research in advance enough, and then you have opportunity to talk to them, and then you explain during that talk what their problem is, and how deeply you understand, and how deeply you could bring a good solution for it, imagine what will happen. Maybe you will get the offer in the next couple of days or maybe same day. So second exercise for you is, what are the 10 ways you can make a company great? based on your experience background. And when you think of making a great, think of the tangible results. Not really that I'm a good team worker, my work ethics are good, or my background, I have degree or certificate, nothing like that. How could you make a company grow faster? How could you make a company more profitable? How could you bring some cost reduction or saving money or improve productivity? Very tangible, solid results. And then how will you do it? What is the specific talent skill you would apply that would help you do that better than other people? Make it very explicit. And maybe name your process. This is my proprietary process. This is what I do regularly at the wherever I work. And that becomes your proprietary process. That becomes your personal brand. Remember, you are not a job seeker. You are a problem solver. And why these things are important, like we started with the mindset and then rebranding yourself, because these will energize you. These will empower you. You need a lot of energy on your own, especially when you are searching for a job. It's very common to get frustrated. You need to have all your engines fired up to sustain those counterattacks, sustain those things coming from the outside, defeating you or discouraging you. And look, this is not comfortable for everyone, I know. But look, you need to develop a mindset. Command a high price. When it comes to the compensation, relating to your last pay is irrelevant. Usually this is what hiring manager do or employer do, or candidate even accept that. This is no relevant. Your deserved pay relates to the outcome or result. What result you create? If you could convince an employer that you could save that much money, or you could increase the profit to that much, or you could bring that much improvement, they would not hesitate to offer you a good compensation based on that. Why to relate with the last pay? Make your value proposition very clear. And if it is a good value proposition, they will buy it. But you need to have the confidence. You need to have the confidence to ask for that price. And believe me, in most cases, it would work positively for you. Your confidence would pay off. How do you add value? Write down at least 20, maybe 50 ideas in your industry, in your company you work. What are those ideas and how do you create value? And what is your true worth? Okay, so we covered two main things to get into the blue ocean market. Now let's talk about the LinkedIn. Now again, LinkedIn is very commonly available. I still see that not many people are using to the full of its power. So let me give you some highlights here. Now forget about face-to-face networking. You can still do that, but it's very inefficient. It will consume a lot of your time and not give you much advantage. So rely on LinkedIn, which is the best place for you. Online networking. But try to set some goals. Don't just do generalized networking, connecting to the people, increasing the number. That doesn't serve any purpose. Try to make a specific goals, and with a specific attention, do that networking. Best platform to reach hidden job market is LinkedIn. How do you reach hidden market? You don't know anyone? Just use LinkedIn. And I'll tell you how. But first you need to do some work. You need to create a personal brand on LinkedIn. Last week we had a Mecca Summit in Dubai, and we wanted to bring some external speakers. Time was short, and we really approached few, but they were not available. So I said, okay, let me sit with my LinkedIn profile. So I sit on the LinkedIn, and fortunately I have 35,000 followers. So I sit on LinkedIn, look at the Dubai place and some expertise, and I found few people. I wrote them a cold email. Of course, I didn't know them. They didn't know me. That was a cold email. But they responded, and two of them agreed to come over event, and they delivered fantastic presentations. Now, why did they respond to a stranger? This was the first time I contacted them, but probably I was not a stranger, because as soon as they got to my LinkedIn profile, there was a very strong personal brand available. that made them immediately comfortable. 35,000 connections, a lot of blogs, contents, likes, comments, etc., etc. It was very heavily filled with information. You could do the same thing, but you need to work on your personal brand first. So that's the advantage. It's not really your resume. It's an accumulation of the social proof and your expertise and your achievement and your accomplishments and your results, which is shown one place, LinkedIn profile. Anybody you could bring into there, they would be impressed. And then you can take the next step. Especially the level of trust. I think why these speakers immediately accept my offer and come. They trusted me based on my profile. They didn't know me. We never talked, but they accepted based on the profile. So these profiles have a lot of power and leverage you could play with. Your brand, your expertise, your credibility, even your scarcity, how popular, how much in demand you are, you could reflect through your LinkedIn. And of course, the third-party endorsement, like recommendations and endorsement of skills, also play positively in your favor. So job search strategy on LinkedIn to reach the hidden job market is basically start with 20-30 target companies in your desired sector. And then search in your first level connections if there is any employee, junior or senior, no, doesn't matter, but someone, a full employee. And then identify through that employee, you could also do some research. Call them casually, talk to them, try to get some idea whether there is an opening or not. Usually employees are aware of those things, or even not aware, they can find out for you very quickly. So you do your research, those. You would find two type of people when you try to get someone in the target companies. It could be decision makers, hiring managers, or it could be door openers. Don't decline or reject door openers. These are the junior people who do not have the authority, but they could open the door for you. So they are still very valuable. They could take you to the decision maker or hiring manager. And identify a common connection to get a referral. If you don't find anyone, find a common connection and ask for referral. Because once you have connection through a third party, it will go very fast. Otherwise, if you are totally strange, you may struggle, take more time. And once connected, you request an informational meeting. Make a reason that you need some information. Never ever declare that you are a job seeker and you want to talk to them. Just tell them you need some information. You're doing a research, you're doing a project, something. You want to talk to a decision maker for 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, right? And that is how you first connect to the decision makers. Now, in old days, it was very easy. You saw a job posting, you send a resume, you got an interview, you got a job. Today, it's very different. Today, even on LinkedIn, the way you could find a job is, first of all, show your presence. Show your presence, create a brand, and then you start contacting the right decision makers or the people you want to involve. Messaging. The messaging strategy. You engage them. And once you engage them, probably you will find opportunity. There is no guarantee. But that is how you spread your network. Involve more people into it. LinkedIn networking is done through message campaigns. You need to learn it this hard. And it requires courage and consistency. There is no guarantee of immediate results. So information meeting is what is an information meeting, not more than 15-20 minutes. Thoroughly research background of the person you are meeting. Ask right questions, develop a list of questions. Discussion should be around industry, not personal, not job, nothing, just an industry related discussion. And try to establish a hook for future interaction. You want to develop a relationship with that person going forward. So you're getting a conversation, you're doing through question answer, but your main goal is to develop a long-term relationship. Never ask for job directly or indirectly. And I'll pass this. Okay, so that was LinkedIn. And remember one thing, that in LinkedIn, job offers or hidden opportunity would usually come from the second level of connection, not the first level. You may have first level connections, but you need to really work with them to an extent where it spreads to the second level. And through the first level connection, you would reach the second level connection. And there, most probably, you will find an opportunity you could work on. So don't lose patience. Don't lose hope. It's required some hard work, but it's very much doable. Okay, number 4, conversation mastery. I don't call it communication because communication is much broader. What I'm talking about, conversation really, as conversation, and especially the skills or art of asking questions. Now, experts don't network, don't send resumes, but experts ask questions. If you really want to demonstrate your expertise, you need to ask right questions. And that is how you would reach the bottom of the problem. So learn how to ask right questions. Then clearly understand the problem and get the person emotionally connected. Once you are talking about the problem and they are the owner of the problem, they are deep into this discussion and they are understanding the consequences. And then you suggest your solution and you also create a sense of urgency. And if you also offer a solution, they are thinking in their mind of really taking you as a solution and solve their problems. When you are talking about their problem or offering a solution, it's not a sales pitch. It's not a pitch for a job. You are basically helping them by offering a solution. That is how they see it. Because your solution is based on their answers. You ask questions, they give you answer, you suggested a solution, like a medical doctor. So understand this clearly, that the best way or the most effective way to establish your brand is through your conversation. When you conversate, when you ask questions, that is how you reflect the best of your personal brand you want to leave an impact on. Finally, find a coach and mentor. So we all have blind spots. Never ever believe that you could make all the progress yourself. You need someone else, a third party, to tell you your blind spots, and what could be a better than a coach or mentor. And carefully evaluate. So many people are struggling between time and money. So they are very much willing, lavishly spending their time, but when it comes to the money, they become very confused. Be very careful. And simple criteria is that when are you willing to spend time to save money, and when are you willing to spend money to save time? Very carefully, because that would clarify your decision making. If nothing helps, then try to measure opportunity cost. And opportunity cost, I hope you all understand, that is choosing between the two alternatives, and the opportunity cost is cost of not doing the other alternative. If you choose to do A and you are trying to make a decision between A and B, is when you decide to go option B, is opportunity cost is the cost of not doing option A. That makes it very easier. And understand the difference between cost and investment. Everything is not an expense or cost. You need some investments. You need to keep your balance sheet strong, because if you are running your life on P&L only, you also need to worry about balance sheet. Balance sheet means that on a personal level, especially your vacation plan, your training and development plans, these are balance sheet investment required for some bad times. Okay, so we have reached to the conclusion that market is tough, market is competitive. There is much more talent than really opportunities, and we need to be competitive. And I'll pass that. So this is the framework we follow. You should follow. Very simple, very powerful framework. This is what I have been talking about for the last more than an hour. That you need to look at your life, at your career, and make a plan. Starting with your mindset inner game, setting up your mindset in inner game. Then make your life aligned with that mindset. Then prepare yourself to deal with the world. And the way you develop yourself by using marketing tools like personal branding and relationship networking. And then you are ready, prepared to start your communication or conversation or presentation, whatever. And the only result you are looking out of that conversation or communication is creating influence. If you are successfully able to create influence, all other things you are looking for come as a byproduct. Your job, your designation, your title, your salary increase, your bonus, all comes as a byproduct. Just keep focus on influence. So our main focus in this framework is communication, is conversation. How could you do that conversation or deliver that talk which could create results? Now that looks simple and not easy. Look at the long hiring process. 6 interviews, 7 interviews. Ultimately, it boils down to one conversation in the last final interview with the decision maker. Based on that conversation, you get the job offer, right? But how do you deliver that conversation? That's a challenge. So to further explain this, these are the 3 secrets, I call it. Secrets of a successful C-suite career. Very simple, very straightforward. Number 1, finding out your why, your inner game, your mindset, purpose and mission of your life. Number 2, your personal marketing strategy. Don't underestimate that. That's very powerful. A strong personal brand, networking and relationship. And finally, your conversation skills, your ability to ask right questions, your ability to deliver the right talk at the right person at the right time. If you could command on these 3 simple things, you would have a fantastic, robust, successful career. Okay. So how do we do it? So as I told you in my career journey or life journey, that in 2014, I decided to leave my corporate role and start CFO Academy because I was getting frustrated. Even today, I look around with the younger professional and the mistakes they are making. I thought it's common sense, but it's not common sense. They're still making mistakes. And I take it as my personal mission to really help them as much as I could. So I have now, by the way, this framework is not given to me from anyone. I have learned this framework myself in a very hard way. And it is not the one I created. It has transformed into different frameworks. Finally, I boiled down to this one, which I think is very workable, very simple, very powerful, very strong. So it's hard-earned framework I'm sharing with you. And now we use this framework. So allow me to give you some idea about the program we are running, a strategic CFO program, which is basically the main reason to really change the life and careers of professionals like you. So mid-career finance professionals, this is exactly where I was in my career. And I had this setback. I made some blunders, made some mistakes, cost me a lot. And it is happening with people every day. And my purpose is really to help them. So we combine these, develop this program. If you look at this slide on your screen, it's basically comprised of 3 areas. One is the leadership part, other is the business strategy part, and the third is the technology part. So I started this program in 2016 by offering the leadership modules only. I thought people need leadership. Leadership means communication, branding, emotional intelligence, etc. And then I realized that in a work environment, you need more than that. So we added a strategy, which means that when you combine strategy is a knowledge actually, right? If you have strategy knowledge, that's a knowledge, and you have leadership skills, that's skills. You combine the skills with the knowledge, you could deliver fantastic results. That is how it works. When you understand the Blue Ocean strategy framework and you have some leadership skills to apply in a work environment, you could lead the organization. That is how we combine the 2 models. Now, since last 2 years, since the technology has become very dominant and prominent, we also added the 3rd modules, which is called digital transformation. Now, if you have gone through this program, you are basically prepared to deal with C-suite level challenges because you are good at technical part. Like if you are a finance professional, you know finance stuff. We don't teach that. You already know more than what you need to know. But what you need to learn is leadership skills and business strategy combined with technology. So you could really talk at the board level. When you go at the board level, if you could deliver a talk on strategy with some leadership skills combined with your knowledge of technology, that is much more, that would give you much more credibility than any executive MBA degree, believe me, because that's the power of conversation. When the board sees you performing, when the board sees you talking, that is what really matters, not your degrees and certification lying somewhere in the corner of your house. This is the a full agenda for the next batch, which we are starting. So we are finishing this year batch 10, which is ending this month, and batch 11 in 4 months. But this 2021 was very busy with these two heavy batches. More than 100 people were part of this two batches. Now we're starting batch 12 from January 8. And we have even made it more heavier, more comprehensive, with designing the curriculum, which is fully loaded for 12 months. So you could take a look in detail at the website. These are the people, so good thing about Mecca is that you can join a program and the program will end at some time, but you will never leave Mecca community. And these are the people I'm showing you who are with Mecca for several years now. Khalid is with us since 2014. And he's participating, he's developing his career. Whenever he feels he need to learn something, he'll learn, but he also help other people. So Khalid was in Novartis, Pakistan as a CFO when he joined Mecca. And he went through this program, I think 3 times. He got a senior role of head of HR in the same company when he was in Novartis. And when he left Novartis, I think that was 2 years ago, he thought that he's now retiring. Now, before he could really reach home, he got another offer from another company, Mector International, as a head of finance or some other function. So, and he basically attributed all of his success to what he learned through Mecca CFO Academy. This is another champion, Mohammed Al Ruby, based in UAE. And he did this program, I think that was 2017 or 18. At that time, he was a financial planning analyst. And he did the program, he learned a lot. And in this year, I think early this year, he got the promotion, new position as CFO in Pharmanovia. This is our old alumni, Zia Mustafa. He's the CFO in Mohammed Yusuf Nagi and Company in Saudi Arabia. He attended the program in 2018. And he was already FD, but then afterwards he got the CFO role, full CFO in Mohammed Yusuf Nagi in 2019. And he thinks that basically this all credit goes to Mecca CFO Academy, or this particular program he has gone through. This is Mohammed Anis Yunus in Saudi Arabia. I think he was an analyst or finance manager when he started, and he got the CFO role in Saudi Arabia for the Hilli housing. And this is Thomas Keria from India. He's based in UAE, Dubai, and he was basically working as a manager. And in a couple of years after doing this program, he was offered a board of directors member position, which he enjoys currently now. So these are only few cases I'm just presenting you. I think in total, more than 300 people have gone through this program, and many of them have very successful stories. So now it's not really that I need to really promote this program. I'm just sharing this information with you, what you may be missing or what opportunity cost you may be paying if you don't look at that. To me, if you are a mid-career finance professional, it's really only a matter of time. It's not a matter of decision whether you want to do this program and you do not want to do this program. If you have an ambition to reach to the top C-level, you must do it. The only question is whether you want to do it now or later. That's what I'm trying to help you. So 3 modules, if you look at the price of these 3 modules, by the way, I'm coming to the question answer shortly. Let me just finish this. I know that there will be lot of questions. So 3 modules we included at this price. It comes to 2,388, really. I mean, look at the people are getting promoted to CFO level, getting salary increases, getting recognition, developing a lot of confidence. What is this price? And if this program help you finally get one promotion or a salary increase or a recognition, would it be worth or not? 2,300. So I had 2 choices, actually. I could have recorded all the videos and made it as an online training like Udemy. Udemy trainings are available for $10, $15, $20. I could have done one thing, but then other option for me is really to keep the quality and make myself available. So instead of that, I have decided to design the program that for 12 months, I'm doing live interactive sessions with you, as if you're sitting with me every week, and we are talking about these things. So with that option, of course, the cost has increased a little bit, but still, I think it's very, very affordable. So what is the strategic CFO program worth to you? And I know many of you are very familiar. Many of you have looked into the program. Many of you wanted to enroll last time or some other years, couldn't do that, and they want to do this year. And when people enroll, I ask them that, how do you know this program? How do you know me? And they say, we are watching you for 3 years. And I say, why did you take 3 years? If you had enrolled in 3 years ago, you would have made a lot of progress in your career, right? So you already paid a big cost for that delay. So promotion, salary increase, recognition. This is what I could promise you. Not promise you, but hope that you would get it like other people are getting it. How much would you pay for it? If that is a promise, that is what you could believe into. So strategic CFO program 2022, 12 batch. And look at this comparison. So I don't compare this strategic CFO program with any other training. Like, we are really not a training company. We are an institution or a community platform. So I compare in terms of quality, I compare with London Business School, Harvard, Columbia, Wharton, and this is really what we offer. It's not me. There are at least 5 to 7 people in alumni who have attended leadership program in these schools, and they told me that our program is better than their program. And look at the prices here. Look at the bottom line prices. London Business School, $30,000 for their CFO programs. Columbia, $28,000 for their CFO programs. Stanford, $9,500. Chicago Booth, $7,950. And Wharton, $7,200. What we charge? Less than $2,000. Less than $2,000. I'm laughing. So you can see why it's really a good deal at $2,388. I don't really need to convince you. You're all senior finance professionals. But we are offering now, today actually, only for 1689. 1689. This is a special discount, special bonus available today only. 106.89. Today only. And you could go to this link. It's basically Mecca CFO Academy available, but you can go bit.ly Mecca 2022. Go to the bit.ly, bit.ly/Mecca 2022, and you will get this discount. Now, not only that 3 modules at $1,600, but I'm also offering 2 additional programs. So we have 2 other programs which are also aligned with the future needs of professionals: communication skills and skills of future. Both programs are priced $500. I will give you additional 1,000 value with this enrollment if you do it today. So the total value you are getting basically 3,378. 3,378 value you are getting with this package, and you are paying only half of this. Half of this. So either you could pay 1,689 today to get the full year program, 12 months, 48 sessions, 2-hour session. Or you could also enroll with a monthly plan, which is only $170 per month for 12 months. But again, I'm offering this today. From tomorrow, the price will go back to the normal price, which is $2,000. So I'm offering a $300 discount today for the people who are sitting on this webinar. So make your choice. One more thing. As I said, if you struggle with the cost part, the valuation part, then look at the opportunity cost you learn in your chartered accountancy. 2 options, like you want to remain a controller at an average salary of $120,000. I just pick a number. Or you want to become a CFO, average salary $200,000. Even if you have this opportunity for 1 year, if for 1 year you become CFO because of this program, what is the cost of your opportunity? $80,000. $80,000. I'm charging you less than $2,000. So you have 2 choices. You can make a decision. Do nothing, which is risk-free, or do something now and create chances of success, which is very probable. Now, in addition to that, I'm also offering you a 30-day guarantee. So if you enroll today, attend the program. We are starting from 8 January until end of January. I'll give you to enjoy the program for 1 full month. And if after 1 full month you think this is not for you, just simply send an email. We'll give you full refund, no question asked. So you could actually test drive with no cost to you. And real question for you is really, if it is even just worth 10%, what I have explained, do you think it is worth or not? Think of your return lifetime if you get promoted because of this. So 3378 total value. And by the way, one more thing. For the first 10 people who enroll today, first 10 people, I will offer additional bonus. That bonus is one-on-one coaching. If you want me to sit with you one-on-one and review your career, where you are today, what you have been doing, what you should do, next move, I will do that completely free of cost for the first 10 people who enroll today in this program. And I think that's enough from my side. I'm sorry, it took a little longer.